Aldridge goal coming literally seconds before the half-time whistle. And I must admit, as I was thinking ahead to my half-time report, I was about to tell you just how well Arsenal were doing, because in a tight, bruising encounter, a game of very few chances, the best of those chances seemed to go to Arsenal, and Liverpool were getting increasingly frustrated. But then Beardsley's cross just touched out by Lukic, and Aldridge did the business for the league leaders. But Arsenal on the attack on the moment, and Rocastle swept the cross in there, and it was Alan Hansen, the Liverpool captain, who knocked it away as Mike Hooper was beaten. And that, Jimmy Armfield alongside me, is as close as Arsenal have come to scoring.
Yes, it was a great chance. Aldridge's marvellous ball was crossed by Hayes from the left side, and it went over the whole of the Liverpool defence. I thought Hooper was stranded. Rocastle was no more than 7 yards from goal, and he had a free shot at the goal. I thought he should have got a bit of power behind it. He side-footed it, no power at all, and Hansen had no trouble clearing off the line. A great chance.
If he had hit it cleanly, that would have been the equaliser, but it's not. Hansen cleared off the line, and Liverpool maintain their 1-0 lead. The goal scorer, John Aldridge. Arsenal have made a substitution at half-time. Michael Thomas is on for the injured Gus Caesar. I'll run down the two lineups in just a moment. Arsenal on the attack at the moment, in front of the Kop, away to our right, but Liverpool break that attack down, and that's Houghton bringing it clear forward to Beardsley. Beardsley's beaten though by the substitute Michael Thomas. Hit on there by Sansom down the far side, and Michael Thomas well up in the attack inside the Liverpool penalty area. Cross comes Gillespie. Has he won the corner? No, Thomas thinks he had won the corner. He hasn't, according to the linesman and the referee. It is a goal kick to Liverpool. Let me run down those two lineups this afternoon. Hooper in goals for Liverpool in the continued absence of Bruce Grobbelaar. Grobbelaar missing his first league game of the season. So Hooper in goals, a back four of Lawrenson, Gillespie, Hansen and Nicol. In midfield it's Houghton, McMahon, Whelan and Barnes, and Liverpool strikers Beardsley and Aldridge, the goal scorer. Arsenal again forced to make changes today, already without the injured Paul Davis. They are missing O'Leary as well, who has an ankle injury. They've got Lukic in goals, and their back four now reads from right to left: Winterburn, Thomas, on for the injured Caesar, Adams and Sansom. In midfield it's Rocastle, Williams, Richardson and Hayes, and their two strikers Smith and young Niall Quinn, who's been preferred by George Graham this afternoon to Paul Merson. The ball is inside the Arsenal penalty area, away to our left, in the hands of John Lukic, who was getting tremendous length in his clearances in the first half, and he gets good length this time too. Drops midway inside the Liverpool half, skims off the head of Steve Nicol, back to Alan Hansen, the Liverpool captain, deep inside his own half, clears towards the halfway line. Beardsley with a good header down to Barnes, just short of the halfway line, tries to return the ball to Aldridge, but across comes Michael Thomas. He puts it out of play, near side of the field, throw into Liverpool, 20 yards inside the Arsenal half, near side Liverpool left. Barnes takes it, gets the return, lays it to Nicol, and Nicol is brought down by Rocastle. No question there that will be a free kick to Liverpool. A couple of yards in from this near touchline, the referee, Mr. Kieran Barrett, has a word with David Rocastle, and the free kick will be taken by Steve Nicol. Thinks about playing it short. He's got McMahon to his right, Barnes to his left. It's Barnes who gets the ball. Barnes plays it 10 yards to his right for McMahon, who lets it run just a little too far, and he loses possession. Arsenal clear, but straight to a red shirt. Alan Hansen with that very important goal line clearance for Liverpool just a few minutes ago, the one that keeps the scoreline at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0. Hooper, long clearance, headed on by Aldridge, doesn't reach Beardsley. It's taken up by Houghton. Whelan's there for Liverpool too. And away comes Tony Adams. Adams plays a 1-2 with Williams, tries to knock it forward to Quinn. Quinn is beaten though by Hansen. Whelan for Liverpool. Williams is in for Arsenal though, and Arsenal win possession again. Hayes tries to slot it through to Smith, but Alan Hansen once more for Liverpool knocks it back inside the Liverpool penalty area, and the danger is cleared. Let's leave Anfield for the moment. The news here, of course, being that Liverpool lead Arsenal by a goal to nil. Let's return to Rugby Union and to Lansdowne Road in Dublin. The last we heard, Ireland were beating Scotland by 16 points to 9. David Mercer. Anfield 6 minutes gone in the second half. It remains Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0, and Liverpool have just made a substitution. Nigel Spackman is on for Mark Lawrence. He looked to be hobbling slightly as he left the pitch, and Spackman has immediately gone to the right full-back position. The ball is inside the Arsenal penalty area, away to our left. This being a vital top of the table clash. Liverpool first, Arsenal third. Liverpool in front at the moment. Let's hear how the second place team are doing. Nottingham Forest from Peter Jones.
And that'll be a corner here, just to remind you, as Alan was saying, Liverpool 56 points at start of play, Forest in second place with 43, Arsenal with 42, and Forest have just taken the lead.
And it's a corner to Arsenal as they desperately search for an equaliser. It'll come from the far side of the field, their left. Steve Williams will take it right-footed, in-swinging corner. Now Quinn lurks with Alan Smith on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area, ready to make the run. It's hit by Williams to the near post. Poor corner, headed away by Barnes, met by Sansom for Arsenal. Rocastle knocks it on, but it's too far beyond his club captain. It runs harmlessly behind the Liverpool goal line. Goal kick to Liverpool. And just looking at the league position, Jimmy, if Arsenal were to lose today, 17 points behind Liverpool, having played 2 games more, their championship challenge surely over.
Yes, I can't really see them catching Liverpool even as it is, but I think today they've played quite well, particularly in the defence. I think they've been very tight, they've given very little away. The midfield players have worked very hard defensively. I think there's a lack of construction up front, but in saying that, they have made a couple of chances in the first half. I thought Adams had the best chance of the half, really, when he volleyed wide. He'd stole up for a long throw-in. Another effort by Richardson was deflected, so they just might sneak back into this. They play with a lot of spirit too.
And they're pushing Liverpool back at the moment. Liverpool with their backs to the Kop in the second half. The ball is played inside that Liverpool penalty area. It skims off Kevin Richardson. Unfortunately for Arsenal, goes behind, and it is another goal kick to Liverpool. Liverpool, who haven't conceded a goal in their last 6 games. And Mike Hooper and Bruce Grovel are before him. Really haven't had that many saves to make in those 6 games. Liverpool's so dominant. But Arsenal will certainly attempt to test that record in this second half. There is a throw in to Liverpool on the far side of the field, taken by Houghton to the substitute Spackman. McMahon knocks it further down that Liverpool right flank, inside the Arsenal penalty area now. Kenny Sansom's there, and Sansom plays it off Houghton's feet behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. Tremendous interest in this game this afternoon, as you would expect from a top of the table clash. We gather it's being televised in 55 countries. 10 of them are taking it live, another 45 recorded, and a total estimated audience of 250 million people. And we gather that is a record audience for a Football League match. Not surprising, 250 million. The ball drops inside the Liverpool half, met well by Alan Smith, faced by Houghton and by Spackman, turns away, knocks it back to Sansom on the halfway line. Sansom forward to Richardson, now to Hayes, back to Richardson once more, but the ball played forward not well, and Liverpool win it back, then give it away again, then win it back. It's with Beardsley. Beardsley midway inside the Arsenal half, running towards the penalty area, shoots, good save by Lukic, as the ball threatened to beat him at the left-hand post. The big goalkeeper got down well and just pounded away for a corner. Corner to Liverpool from the far side of the field. Houghton thinks about taking it, won't do now because John Barnes is going to cross. We'll get Jimmy Armfield's comments on that run and shot by Beardsley in a moment. But the corner first to Liverpool. Barnes, left-footed, in-swinging corner. Out comes Lukic, gathers easily, and Arsenal can clear the danger.
Yes, it was a great run, that. It really was. He was actually tripped by Richardson when he was going through. He stumbled, but he carried on. That shows the tenacity of Beardsley. He carried on, he got to the edge of the D, hit it with his left foot. I thought it surprised John Lukic for a minute. Big Arsenal goalkeeper did well, got his left hand to it, put it round the post. Good shot, good save.
Liverpool leading Arsenal by that John Aldridge goal. 10 minutes gone in the second half here at Anfield, and Liverpool threatening to do the double over Arsenal, the league double over Arsenal again this season, as they did last. Liverpool, remember, winning the opening match of the season at Highbury, which was also a commentary match here on Sport on 2, by 2-1. They lead 1-0 this afternoon, but Arsenal have a free kick midway inside the Liverpool half. The referee spotted an infringement that I didn't see. The referee well up with play. I think someone was tugging on Rocastle's shirt as the ball was played through. It's a bit too far out really for a threatening shot as far as Mike Hooper is concerned. But what can Arsenal conjure up? Williams is standing alongside Richardson with the ball. Sansom's to their left. 4 men in the Liverpool wall. They're standing about 5 yards outside the penalty area. Up comes Williams, shoots, and it's high over the bar, and that is a goal kick to Liverpool.
Yes, the free kick was for pulling back. Gillespie contested it, but it was certainly pulled back. And I think the thing is about Arsenal, I was very surprised then they didn't opt for a chip onto the back post, because Niall Quinn has looked to me as though he can win balls in the air and knock them down into the box. Williams went for the shot there, he struck it well, it went over the top, but Quinn every so often just does give a threat, because he's a very tall lad and he is good in the air.
Liverpool leading here by a goal to nil. Peter Jones has some other scorelines.
Yes, we've got a couple of First Division scores for you to start with. Portsmouth have taken the lead at Fratton Park against Oxford. Have equalised against Oxford United. Kevin Ball, the scorer there. Portsmouth 1, Oxford United 1. Wimbledon 0, Watford 1. The visitors have taken the lead. Waddle Sterling, the scorer. Wimbledon 0, Watford 1. And up in Scotland, Rangers have taken the lead. The visitors at Hearts 0, Rangers 1. Ian Durant with a penalty. Let me remind you the latest score in the Rugby Union International: Ireland 22, Scotland 12. And a result earlier: France 10, struggling in the end, but they beat England 10-9.
Sansom swings the cross into the Liverpool penalty area. It's cleared by McMahon. Beardsley meets it midway inside his own half though, but he's rushed out of it by the considerable number of Arsenal yellow shirts that surrounded him, and Arsenal on the attack once more. Alan Smith just outside the Liverpool penalty area, but he's conceded a goal kick. It bounced off his body behind, and Mike Hooper will take yet another goal kick for Liverpool. Hooper hasn't really had a great deal to do.
Not really. He should have had, I think, in the first half when Arsenal created a couple of chances. But he's a steady goalkeeper, Mike Hooper, for a second choice particularly. But it's the thing that's surprised me is, having been a fairly regular visitor to Anfield this year, how much they've dominated matches. And teams have had a job to even get out of their own half. But Arsenal have come here and contested it. And at the present time, they're pushing Liverpool back.
Well, even allowing for the fact that Arsenal are considered one of the championship challengers, this has been one of Liverpool's less impressive displays, certainly that I've seen this season. And are very thankful, I'm sure, that they lead by a goal to nil. John Aldridge, literally seconds before the half-time whistle. Arsenal inside their own half. Tony Adams has it, lays it to his right to Richardson, but it's intercepted by Whelan now. Chance for Liverpool. Aldridge to the right, inside the penalty area. Great chance. Aldridge shoots. Good save by Lukic. And we talk about Liverpool looking less impressive than they have been in recent matches, but that's twice within a few minutes that John Lukic has had to make critical saves, or else Arsenal could easily have been 3 down. But it is nevertheless a corner to Liverpool. Barnes takes it left-footed in, swinging, poor corner. Hit out of play on the far side of the field by Martin Hayes. Barnes will take the throw in. Houghton comes short just outside of the Arsenal penalty area, lays it back to Barnes. Now Barnes makes room for the cross, left-footed, deep cross, but Lukic is out, and Lukic gathers easily.
Yeah, it's a great chance really for Liverpool there. And if Aldridge had knocked that ball in, I think Adams would have buried himself, because he had the ball in centre field, could have knocked it away anywhere really. His pass was misdirected, it was cut out by Beardsley. He fed Aldridge, it put him through, he struck it very well. John Lukic did well to get it round the post.
Hansen for Liverpool, 15 yards from the halfway line as far as they're concerned. Forward to Barnes, Aldridge, Hansen slow on the run, but the ball played through by Aldridge a little too far forward, and it runs out of play on this near side of the field, the Arsenal right, for a throw in to Arsenal midway inside their own half, taken by Nigel Winterburn. Back to Michael Thomas, who he replaced as right full-back at Highbury, at least for the moment. And Arsenal have another throw in, this one closer to the halfway line. Winterburn signed earlier from Wimbledon and expected to pose some threat to Kenny Sansom as left-back. He is a naturally left-sided player, but chosen today, as last week, at right-back by George Graham. Rocastle forward to Quinn. Quinn tries to lay it into the path of Smith. Smith sort of blocks the ball, but it runs to Houghton. Ray Houghton for Liverpool, just short of the halfway line. He's got Gillespie in the overlap, but he tried to slow it through to Aldridge, and Aldridge gets the ball, courtesy of a silly pass by Adams. It's now with Spackman. Left foot forward, Aldridge down, Whelan, good touch infield to Beardsley. Beardsley running towards that penalty area, through into the penalty area, great chance by Beardsley. What a goal by Peter Beardsley! magnificent run by the England striker through the heart of the Arsenal defence. And what cool finishing, because as Lukic came out, he just flicked it arrogantly with his right foot over his body. Peter Beardsley's 8th goal of the season. It puts Liverpool 2 up, and that surely is the end of Arsenal as championship challengers.
Magnificent goal from Liverpool's point of view. I think George Graham will be a bit disappointed. Arsenal had possession of the ball, gave it away again, about 10 or 12 yards outside their own area to Beardsley, slipped through 2 tackles. But the way he took it on towards Lukic was absolutely majestic, really. Just clipped it with his right foot. John Lukic didn't have a chance. Super goal. I think now Arsenal are in trouble.
2-0 to Liverpool. Let's hear from Peter Jones the scorelines and the other matches today.
Starting with Nottingham Forest, second at start of play. Nottingham Forest 1, Charlton Athletic 0, Manchester United 0, Southampton 1, Norwich City 0, Everton 1, Wimbledon 0, Watford 1, Queen's Park Rangers 0, West Ham 0, Luton 0, Derby County 0, Spurs 1, Coventry 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Chelsea 0, Portsmouth 1, Oxford 1. Then just switching divisions, Aston Villa the leaders 1, Ipswich 0, Millwall 0, Middlesbrough 0, Blackburn 2, Hull 0, and the same scorelines we gave you a moment ago up in Scotland, Hearts 0, Rangers 1.
Anfield still excited by the quality of that Peter Beardsley goal. And though the England player may have struggled initially at Anfield, just settling in, certainly the early games were tricky ones for him. In recent matches, he's been one of the outstanding performers here. He was certainly in the midweek cup replay against Stoke, and what a tremendous goal he's just scored to put Liverpool 2 up. They've got another free kick 10 yards outside the Arsenal penalty area, away to our left. John Barnes will take it short to Beardsley. The flick on looking for Houghton. Arsenal intercept through Sansom. The clearance is met by Whelan though. Whelan out to Gillespie, far side of the field on the Liverpool right touchline. Gillespie forward to Houghton. Sansom gave him too much time. Ball played infield into the penalty area for Barnes, and Barnes almost laid it into the path of Aldridge. It's gone behind for a goal kick, but Arsenal are now in deep, deep trouble.
Yes, to be fair to Arsenal, the goals have come actually at what I call crucial times in a football match. The first one was on the stroke of half-time. If they could have come in at 0-0, I think that would have lifted them in the dressing room for the second half. And just when they started to look as though they might just creep back towards it again in the second half, Beardsley, I think, has finished them off in a way, because it was a brilliant goal. And I get the opinion that when Liverpool get 2 up and they're playing at home, they've already come 22 matches without defeat. The confidence now can only be sky high. They're going to knock it around, and Arsenal are really going to have to graft now to keep this scoreline intact.
Well, Arsenal looking in terrible trouble here, just as, if you don't mind me saying so, Scotland are doing in the Rugby Union International. Oh, as Arsenal hit the post from Quinn's header, I was about to give you the Rugby Union scores, and then from nothing, the ball played deep inside the Liverpool penalty area, and Big Niall Quinn jumping forward, just glanced the ball with his head. It hit the post, Hooper was beaten, and it's a corner to Arsenal from the far side of the field. I'll give you those rugby scores in a moment. Williams will take it, right-footed, in-swinging corner. Perhaps Arsenal are not finished. The header on by Smith, that's over the crossbar, and that's a goal kick. And before the rugby scores, Jim, almost 2-1.
Well, I said it, didn't I? That is the threat. I think Quinn in the air is the threat to Liverpool. He's a very strong player, and he came just so sauntering in, really. Got a glancing header in, it hit the post. Hooper was beaten, so were Liverpool. The post saved them.
Well, maybe not beaten yet, Arsenal. But I wonder if Scotland are in the Rugby Union International at Lansdowne Road. The latest score there, may I remind you, Ireland 22, Scotland 12, and the earlier result from Parc des Princes, France 10, England 9. 20 minutes gone in the second half at Anfield. Liverpool lead Arsenal by 2-0. They've got a throw in on the halfway line, near side of the field, taken by Nicol, the left full back this afternoon. Infield to McMahon, forward to Barnes. Liverpool beginning to find gaps in this Arsenal defence. Barnes has beaten one player inside the penalty area. The shot right-footed, his weaker foot, straight to Lukic. Lukic gathered easily, and Lukic quickly clears. Long clearance, headed on by Alan Smith. Drops to the feet of Steve Nicol for Liverpool though, who then gives it away. Hayes for Arsenal, running towards that Liverpool penalty area. Takes on and beats Spackman on the left-hand side as he won the throw-in. Houghton's there for Liverpool. gives the ball away to Richardson. Richardson knocks it back to Sansom. Hard on that far touchline, Arsenal left. Sansom cuts in field, lays it to his right for Adams. Adams jinks past McMahon, trying to play the ball to Hayes on the left. Has another chance, turns up, looks, will shoot long, harmlessly, headed away by Whelan. Chested down by Aldridge, and the foul by Michael Thomas. Free kick to Liverpool, and the danger gone.
Yes, one or two good passes there. The final one, both times by Sanson, then by Hayes, was just lacking a little bit. But as you say, Whelan blocked the shot from Adams there, but Liverpool broke away. I thought they were lucky to get a free kick, actually. I thought Aldridge made a meal of that. But Liverpool break so quickly, don't they? You know, with players like Barnes and Beardsley, control so good, they're liable to go past defenders. That's always the danger.
Liverpool seemingly heading for their 23rd league game without defeat. A win here against Arsenal will make it 18 victories and 5 draws in 23 league matches, and that is some record. Barnes for them, inside the Arsenal half, back to McMahon, out quickly to Nicol on the Liverpool left, taking on Rocastle, beaten by Rocastle. Ball is out of play. What is the referee's decision? It's a throw into Liverpool, I think. Barnes will come across. Nicol's having a word with the linesman, suggesting he wants a free kick, and they indeed have got that free kick, taken quickly by Nicol for Barnes. Barnes waits to Nicol again, back to Barnes, forward to Houghton, just outside the penalty area, turns to his right, tries to play a 1-2 with John Barnes, but across comes Nigel Winterburn. He knocks the ball out of play in this near side of the field. Another throw into Liverpool, level with the edge of the penalty area, the Arsenal penalty area, that is. Barnes will take it down to the feet of Beardsley, to Nicol, makes room, gets the cross in, good cross, headed away though by Tony Adams to the edge of the penalty area. Beardsley knocks it back into the Arsenal penalty area, straight into the arms of Lukic, and Lukic will clear as we welcome listeners to the BBC's World Service wherever you may be listening this afternoon. Let me tell you that here at Anfield, in the clash between numbers 1 and 3 in the First Division, it's Liverpool, the league leaders, who are in front decisively. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. The first goal by Aldridge just before half-time, and then Beardsley making it 2 with a quite magnificent goal just a few minutes ago. We've just been handed the attendance, 44,299, a fittingly large crowd for what is such a vital game. Let Peter Jones now take us through to the end of the match.
And two latest scores just come in as Alan Green was talking to you there. Tottenham 1, Coventry City 1. The equaliser, Cyril Regis, who else in great form this season. Wimbledon 1, Watford 1. And remember, Steve Harrison's first game as manager of Watford, but Eric Young has equalised for Wimbledon. Wimbledon 1, Watford 1. Halfway through the second half here at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. The first goal almost on half-time, scored by John Aldridge. A lovely four-man move, typical of Liverpool. And then an absolute gem of a goal, Peter Beardsley, 16 minutes into the second half. A good fighting performance by Arsenal, as I think Jimmy Armfield was underlining. Until that Beardsley goal, they were really coming right into the game here. And the whistle will go for a free kick to Arsenal, defending the goal away to our left. And Michael Thomas, who came on in the second half for the injured Guy Caesar, was playing for the injured David O'Leary to start with, suffering with Achilles tendon injury and the feeling that perhaps they were going to play safe and have him in the quarter-finals of the Littlewoods Cup against Sheffield Wednesday next Wednesday. So it was first of all O'Leary going, then Caesar going, now Michael Thomas. No play at the moment because Nigel Winterburn, the young full-back, a left-back by trade, playing right-back so that Kenny Sansom still keeps his place, is getting a little bit of treatment. Referee coming over, getting Barrett from Coventry. And now they'll take the free kick a yard outside their own area. And Michael Thomas, no histrionics at all, will play it back to John Lukic, the Arsenal goalkeeper. Away to our right, well, just like the old days. The Kop sways and sings. Could well be their 23rd game unbeaten, a league record for Arsenal, for Liverpool here. They lead by 2-0, and they've got 20 minutes to create yet another record here. And Beardsley has got away, but he hasn't got away from Thomas, and Thomas brings him down. And the referee will have a word there with tall Michael Thomas, because Beardsley was wriggling away. Danger again, Jimmy.
Yes, it was. It was inexperience, really. Young Thomas let the ball bounce. He should have gone and got it away first time. A defender's first job is to clear his lines. Beardsley was too sharp for him. He took it before him and he pulled him down with his arm as he was going past. The referee's booked him. I don't think George Graham will be contesting that caution.
A free kick then to Liverpool, just a yard or two outside the Arsenal penalty area. Danger perhaps here for the Londoners once more. They trail by 2-0. They play it square, and McMahon makes a terrible hash of it. And we leave Anfield just for the moment to remind you it's Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. Here at Anfield, ball is on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area, but it's offside by 6 yards. It'll have to come all the way back, and the free kick will be taken by Arsenal. Change strip this afternoon of those yellow shirts, dark shorts and yellow stockings, and the man in the yellow shirt is Michael Thomas. Lays it deep inside the Liverpool half. Spackman, the substitute who came on 15 minutes ago, the old Chelsea player, clears his lines, but it's loose, picked up by Richardson, the old Everton player. He's played well, Richardson, this afternoon for Arsenal. And the ball is still halfway inside the Liverpool half, drops wide to Rocastle, inside the Liverpool area. That's the cop end to our right. Rocastle cuts the ball back. Idea was good, not quite accurate enough though, and in the end it was cleared by Ronnie Whelan, and it'll be a throw in to Arsenal. Their right back, Winterburn, will take it. And it's cut through by Williams, and Rocastle on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Rocastle holds dummies and gets the corner. And still they're fighting Jimmy Armfield, as indeed they've done throughout the second half, Arsenal.
Yes, they have. I thought Rocastle should have made better use of that. It was a lovely pass by Williams inside the full-back. There he was inside the penalty area there, Rocastle. He should have chipped it over back post where Quinn was. Too long. Liverpool scramble away for a corner.
Kevin Richardson then will take the corner for Arsenal down their right. Swings away outside the Liverpool penalty area. Sansom will pick it up. The Arsenal captain lobs it inside the area. And Quinn will come in with a head. It was a looping head. I don't know whether he was trying to just play it over the top there of Mike Cooper, playing his first league game of the season. The young man we saw last week at Stoke in the first of the FA Cup battles with Liverpool, saving from Graham Shaw in the dying minutes of that game, which might even have given Stoke a shock result on that day. Well, this is his first league match. Made a couple of good saves, but Liverpool still lead by 2-0. They have the possession. McMahon, Gillespie, tall, going through. Can he get the little return ball back? He can't, and Arsenal will pick it up. They'll play it towards us. Beautiful position we always have at Anfield, high up over the halfway line. Rocastle for Arsenal. 5 yards in from the near touchline, the Arsenal right. Williams will play it forward. Richardson. Bad ball from Richardson, given away, because that was another nice little build-up, and he should really have done better to find Martin Hayes, and he didn't. Whelan plays the ball back, and McMahon, almost with the precision of a snooker player, bends down, watches the ball, straight back to Lukic, and gets the return ball from his captain, Hansen, and a long look downfield.
I think one of the things about Liverpool, in particularly I would say since November, has been how sure-footed they are. Every player, first touch, controls the ball. I think this is one of the strengths. A lot of people talk about the work rate and the individual brilliance of different players, but it's that first touch on the ball right through the squad that's so important. Even people like Gillespie at the back and Spackman, who's come on as a reserve player, they've got this first touch, and I think it's so important. When you have one or two players in your squad who can do it, it lifts the standard of all the rest of the squad, and I think that's what's happened here.
As Nigel Spackman, one of the players that Jimmy mentioned there, takes a throw far side down the Liverpool right, played back to Mike Cooper, bowls the ball out to his left back, that's Steve Nicol, and this is possession stuff now by Liverpool. We've seen it so many times, and as Hansen plays it back to Mike Cooper, let's run down the latest scores for you.
And the team in second place, Nottingham Forest, have conceded a goal. It's now Forest 1, Charlton 1. Robert Lee with the equaliser for Charlton. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Chelsea 0. A Brian Marwood penalty for Sheffield Wednesday. It's Portsmouth 2, Oxford 1. Mick Quinn for Portsmouth. And into the second division, top of the table clash there. Blackburn Rovers 2, Hull 1. Hull's goal from Richard Jobson.
And at this moment, David Rocastle comes off the field, and George Graham's now used his last card. His second substitute, Paddy Groves, with the ginger hair, comes on, and let's see if he can perform a little magic for Arsenal. They need that now, and Groves immediately gets a touch. Plays it around McMahon. He's challenged though by Barnes, who's quite happy to come back as an extra defender. Ball is loose, and the loose ball picked up by Nigel Winterburn for Arsenal. Cuts it square, Williams through the gap. Little back heel coming in from Martin Hayes. A good idea, didn't get anywhere though, and the ball goes back to Hooper. Later score.
And to say the least, today's scoreline's going Liverpool's way. Not only are they leading one of their near challengers, Arsenal 2-0, Forest are drawing 1-1, and we hear now from Old Trafford that it's Manchester United 0, Southampton 2 now. Colin Clark with his second goal for Southampton. United 0, Southampton 2.
Here at Anfield, we've got a little more than 13 minutes of the second half to play, and it's Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0. On the opening day of the season, Arsenal lost 2-1 against Liverpool at Highbury. 3 headers, I remember, that day. Well, here we've had one gem of a goal from Peter Beardsley 16 minutes into the second half, and the other from John Aldridge almost on half-time, as Nigel Winterburn, the Arsenal right-back, plays it 25 yards, back to John Lukic, his goalkeeper, the man that Jimmy Armfield signed in his Leeds United days, and a very, very good goalkeeper Lukic has become. As the ball is headed back by Nicol, deep inside the Arsenal half, away to our left. Winterburn's there again, though, plays it back to Lukic, goes as if to throw it out towards Tony Adams, then gets a second, makes a second decision, and this time a long clearance, not quite as long as he's been kicking all afternoon. Still, though, 20 yards inside the Liverpool half to our right. That's the famous Cop End, and how they've enjoyed the afternoon, and how indeed they've enjoyed the season. And I'm told that at 11:30 this morning, the crowds were milling around Anfield, and who can be surprised at that? They're having a marvellous season. Could this be, as we repeat, the 23rd game unbeaten in the league for Liverpool? And inevitably people are comparing the great Liverpool side. I think we'll have to wait till the end of the season before one says it's the best side, but it must be close to that, and that's saying something by the standards of Liverpool Football Club. They lead by 2-0, and they're in no great hurry to take the throw, which is about halfway inside their own half. And in the end it'll be Steve Nicol, the Scottish international. It's almost unnecessary to say that when you look at a Liverpool side, because they're sprinkled, of course, with international talent. Nicol still waits to take the throw, holds that ball above his head, throws it looking for Barnes, and that was an illegal challenge by John Barnes on Michael Thomas. So it'll be a free kick to Arsenal, and Nigel Winterburn, the right back, will take it a couple of yards inside the Liverpool half, and if I were to drop the microphone now, it would drop right onto the head of Nigel Winterburn. And he'll come up and he takes it with his left foot, and he drops it to the edge of the Liverpool area, and the challenge will come in from Alan Smith, and Mike Hooper is there, and Hooper will hold the ball safely. Good challenge came in, and a very I think fair challenge by Alan Smith. £800,000 worth of talent from Leicester. Alan Smith been a little bit in and out as far as his form is concerned, but he's got 9 goals, and the challenge will come in from Hayes on the halfway line again. Arsenal trying hard to build, and it's very, very hard indeed against this Liverpool defence. Scored 55 goals until the start, that makes it 57 now, and only 11 goals against. A quite remarkable season for Liverpool, as the ball will go into touch, and we've got some later scores again.
Another one of the chasing clubs in trouble, this one at Plough Lane. It's Wimbledon 1, Watford 2 now. Malcolm Allen penalty has put Watford 2-1 up. And into Scotland, Hearts have equalised against Rangers. Sandy Clark the goal. Hearts 1, Rangers 1, and that's good news for those at Parkhead. A reminder that the leader Celtic still lead Hibs 1-0.
And at start of play, Wimbledon, the team that was mentioned there, in 6th place with 40 points, as Arsenal will take the throw halfway inside their own half with Winterburn. Had a busy afternoon, and you get another throw again. He's gained about 15 yards in that little encounter, and Teddy Groves asked for the ball, so he'll have his chance for the throw and does so. Hasn't got an awful lot going for it though, the throw, and it's picked up easily by Whelan. Spackman infield to Hansen, halfway inside his own half. Barnes, one or two little twinkling runs from Barnes, not perhaps at his best this afternoon, but still a beautiful player to watch. Played through again by Nicol. Barnes not quite sure-footed enough, but the ball is loose, and McMahon will run onto it. And again Liverpool trying to hold, but Groves has come in busy there. Quinn just below us, cuts the ball for Groves. Groves goes down the Arsenal right, and he checks his stride. He's being challenged by Nicol, lays it square. Quinn runs over himself in the end, but Arsenal still have it. Now Quinn's on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. He turns away, tries to stab it to Groves, can't do so, and Liverpool with 6 red shirts inside their own penalty area to our right. That's the strength of Liverpool. They lead here by 2-0, 9 minutes to go, and they'll make a quick break and they'll play it back. I think the word you used, Jim, was sure-footed. Absolutely perfect.
Yes, 6 players behind the ball, and when they brought it out, they had 3 little passes on the edge of the box, no more than 2 or 3 yards. It's absolute confidence really to do that. For players to do that on the edge of their own penalty area, the confidence has to be sky high, and that's what Liverpool are at the moment.
But talking to John Aldridge just a few weeks ago, Jim, just to underline what you're saying, and he said the extraordinary thing when you play for Liverpool, you have about 8 options every time you get the ball. As the flag goes up for offside, for another Arsenal attack, and as we wait for the free kick, why do we give you some more later scores?
It's now Spurs 2, Coventry City 1. Clive Allen with his second goal for Spurs. And at Loftus Road, it's Queen's Park Rangers 0, West Ham 1. Alan Dickens for West Ham.
8 minutes to go here at Anfield, the top First Division game of the day. And Liverpool lead by 2-0 against a fighting Arsenal side. Remember, without Paul Davies, he's a very key member of their side. Hernia operation, and so he's out for the time being, and they've certainly missed the qualities of David O'Leary at centre-back this afternoon, but they've fought all the way, and George Graham, their manager, will not be displeased with that. But they're 2-0 down, but they have the possession, but they're still about 5 miles away, it would seem, from the Liverpool goal away to our right. Groves plays the ball back to Michael Thomas, comes away from a half-hearted challenge from Barnes this time, and Michael Thomas still has the ball. Spidery action is Thomas, eager. Plays it in field, and Williams is fouled by Nicol. In fact, it was Smith who was fouled by Nicol. So it'll be a free kick to Arsenal, and Williams will come up to take it. Another keen competitor, Steve Williams, has a look. A crowded Liverpool penalty area, plays it inside that area. Headed away by Hansen. Waiting for it is Beardsley. Scuttles away. Scorer of that superb goal. 16 minutes into the second half. And this time Beardsley, an illegal challenge, says the referee. Always looks like a small boy, does Peter Beardsley, when he's on the field. Nothing about small boys by the way he gets goals. As Winterburn takes the free kick for Arsenal, drops it on the edge of the area, and Quinn will let it run over the line. No, he doesn't. He keeps the ball in play, and he takes the cross too. The challenge comes in from Tony Adams, and the ball just away 5 yards to the right.
Yes, for the first time I thought Liverpool looked a bit slack there. Quinn's challenge was just a little bit too much for Spackman. He shoulder charged him, but he's kept the ball in, put the cross over. Adams came steaming in about 7 or 8 yards out, headed it over the top. I think the real danger, as I said before, Peter, for Liverpool are the high crosses, and it surprised me that they haven't put more balls into the box. I thought they would have knocked a few balls in from distance to let Quinn flick on and see if Smith could pick up a few droppings, but of course it hasn't happened.
And as Lukic, a long clearance deep inside the Liverpool half once more, later scores.
Nottingham Forest in second place have regained the lead against Charlton. It's now 2-1 there, the second Forest goal for Neil Webb.
As Beardsley is there, and the ball drops inside the Arsenal penalty area. And there was a moment perhaps for Ronnie Whelan to come through. I think just momentarily he might have thought he was offside. And the ball is cleared. Hansen underneath it though for Liverpool, inside the centre circle. It's that man Beardsley again. And he holds it, plays it through the gap. Goes for the return ball from Barnes. Barnes falls as he played it though, and it was fouled in any case by Tony Adams. So it's a free kick to Liverpool, about 20 yards or so inside the Arsenal half to our left. Plenty of Arsenal supporters here. They've been in great voice for most of the afternoon. Even when they were 1-0 down, they gave great support to their team, but perhaps a little bit muted after that second goal scored by Beardsley. As Groves is fouled by Nicol, and Arsenal take the free kick as quick as they possibly can. Ball breaks. Hayes, edge of the Liverpool area. Good challenge by Spackman. Hayes still there, but there are 3 defenders, but the linesman's waving his flag furiously over there and says that was a foul by Hayes, so it'll be a free kick to Liverpool, and we have 5 minutes to go here.
Yes, I don't know what he's given a free kick for there. I think there was a bit of argy-bargy, but it seemed to be 6-1 half a dozen of the other. But Arsenal, I think in the last 15 minutes certainly, lost a little bit of the edge that they showed in the first half. The midfield has gone out of it now. They were contesting it very strongly, I thought, in the first half. Just lost a little bit of the zip. We haven't seen much of Williams in the last 10 minutes. He's gone quiet, and I thought he was outstanding in the first half.
Well, it must seem to Arsenal perhaps as if they've read the script so many times before, beaten on the last 6 visits to Anfield, and this looks like a 7th this afternoon. I can't see them now with just 4 minutes to go, and as Jimmy was saying, a little bit of the fire's gone from them now, but they have the possession. They play through the gap, and as Perry Groves rushes in, so Mike Hooper comes off his line. Good, brave and agile save by Hooper. Bruce Grobbelaar still suffering from that leg injury. And again, talking to him about an hour or so before the kick-off, saying, well, I've got to look for my place here because Hooper's playing so well, and we've got another later score.
Well, no sooner have Nottingham Forest regained the lead at the City Ground than they've lost it once more. Nottingham Forest 2, Charlton 2, the Charlton equaliser from Andy Jones.
Well, that could be a bit of a surprise then. Again, to remind you that at start of play, Forest were in second place, only 13 points behind Liverpool. as it'll be a throw-in to Arsenal. Immediately below us again, down the Arsenal right. Groves takes the throw. Hansen belts it with his left foot high into the sky. A challenge comes in from Alan Smith. Ball breaks, but Sansom's there for Arsenal. Plays it low, flat, just on the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Rather half-hearted challenge there by Hayes. And there's plenty of time for the ball to be played back 25 yards to Mike Hooper. Goodbye, he's proved from Wrexham. And he'll hold the ball, bounces it once, twice, and right to the edge of the white line, and clears it high into the floodlights, drops deep inside the Arsenal half, and in the end Tony Adams, tall, will let it run through to John Lukic, his goalkeeper. Clearance from him, halfway inside the Liverpool half. Good challenge again from Quinn. Haven't seen too much of the Irishman, but one or two little interesting balls, I think, in the air. And it'll be a throw-in again to Arsenal. And again, Winterburn, the right back, will take it. 15 yards inside the Liverpool half to our right. And the ball chested down. And Smith trying to find a shot at the target. And he mixed the shot, and it wasn't a bad effort at all. Hooper in the end just diving away to his left, got his body behind it. Not a bad effort though, Jim.
No, it's a good shot. He did well there, Smith. Crept along the edge of the box. Liverpool stood back and let him shoot. Hit it well with his left foot. Hooper did well. Got it at the second attempt.
So Liverpool leading by 2-0 with a little less now than 2 minutes to go, and we've got some more later scores for you.
Well, there still is at least a Merseyside challenge in this championship race, because Everton have gone 2-0 up at Norwich, and the second goal there, like the first, went to Graham Sharp. And at Hillsborough it's Sheffield Wednesday 3, Chelsea 0, Carl Bradshaw the third goal for Wednesday.
And Sheffield Wednesday, who've got a little cup tie encounter, a quarter-final next Wednesday against Arsenal. Who at the moment trail here by 2-0. The whistle will go though, because it's a free kick to Arsenal. And it's about 20 yards in, perhaps, from the far touchline, the Arsenal left, deep inside Liverpool territory. And I think Kenny Sansom just asking Mr. Barrett, the Coventry referee, what it was about. Now they take the free kick. Quinn with a header, a yard wide in the end. I think Cooper probably had it covered. But just again, it's underlining, Jimmy, what you were saying earlier. In the air, that surely should be Arsenal's main target.
Well, if you're going to play a player like Quinn, I've always thought that you've got to get your crosses in, because his strength is in the air, particularly on the back post. I think if I'd have been George Graham, I would think that's what George would have done. He would have said to his players, let's try and get the crosses in there to him. He's not as sharp on the floor as a lot of other players in the first division up front, but he is very strong there. You've got to make use of his strength, and I think he could have given Liverpool one or two problems with balls just knocked in almost aimlessly, that are just hanging up there to be fought for.
As Richardson for Arsenal picks up the ball deep inside his own half still though, down the left far side, as we were saying earlier. 250 million viewers this afternoon, the highest ever for a league match. Some 55 countries in all, and they'll have been pleased, I think, by the football they've seen. And that's the end of the football they've seen this afternoon, as Karen Barrett blows the whistle, and Liverpool have won here by 2-0. Jimmy Armfield.
I think the significant moment of the whole match to me was the goal that Aldridge scored with the last kick of the first half. Arsenal had competed very well. One little moment from McMahon through to Beardsley. The shot, Lukic could only palm it out, and the weight of numbers of Liverpool finally told. Aldridge put it away. I thought that was the most significant moment. Arsenal contested very well for the first hour, but then they were killed off by Beardsley's brilliant goal, although I think George Graham will be a bit disappointed. They were in possession, they lost it about 15 yards outside their own area, and in the end it became a familiar pattern. When Liverpool get 2 goals over at home, very rare they give it away, very rare.
So I think one of the best qualities of the Arsenal performance this afternoon, Jimmy, was certainly their midfield, who battled for everything, and certainly in that first 15 minutes of the second half, before the Beardsley goal, were winning most things.
Yes, they were. Richardson, Williams, Hayes, who worked very hard in there, Rocastle, because they know that this is Liverpool's strength, really, over a season, is the weight of players they get into the midfield area. McMahon, of course, has been very strong this season, and Arsenal were competing very well, up to that 44th minute. And that's the moment when Liverpool struck.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. So John Aldridge then with a goal on half-time, 1-0 to Liverpool. Peter Beardsley with a quite magnificent goal, 16 minutes into the second half. Cheeky, arrogant and classy. Final scoreline here as Liverpool go marching on is Liverpool 2, Arsenal 0.
Liverpool then completing the double over Arsenal and taking an even tighter grip on the championship in front of over 44,000 people at Anfield and some 250 million television viewers around Europe. And our team at Anfield, our thanks to them, Peter Jones, Alan Green and Jimmy Armfield.